Jaime Munguia is set to join forces with renowned trainer Eddy Reynoso, who will take over as his new coach following the shocking 5th-round knockout loss to little-known Surace last December. However, this move appears to be more symbolic than practical. Reynoso may be one of the most respected trainers in boxing, but he isn't a magician capable of creating talent that doesn't exist. This shift feels like nothing more than rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. Reynoso can't rescue a fighter whose limitations have long been exposed. Munguia is parting ways with Erik Morales, the captain of his doomed vessel, after the disastrous defeat to Surace on December 14th in Tijuana, Mexico. Morales did his best to refine Munguia's game, but he couldn't shield him from Surace's lightning-fast, cobra-like counters. The writing was on the wall, and the knockout was inevitable. If Munguia possessed even a fraction of Morales' natural ability, he wouldn't find himself in a position where he's now seeking his third trainer. Reynoso confirmed to Box Azteca 7 that he will begin working with Munguia, a super middleweight contender who, for better or worse, will now be training alongside Canelo Alvarez. This association will undoubtedly give Munguia high-profile exposure, but it also raises uncomfortable questions. Last year, Canelo was heavily criticized for granting Munguia a title shot, given the underwhelming nature of his wins at 168 pounds. Most in the boxing world agreed that Munguia's resume at super middleweight did not warrant a championship opportunity. His performance against Derevyanchenko was particularly unimpressive. He scraped by with a narrow unanimous decision on June 2023. Since moving up to 168 pounds, Munguia has lost 2 of his last 3 fights, reinforcing the notion that he is physically outmatched in this division. It's not that he's past his prime, it's simply a case of him lacking the elite skill set required to compete with the best at super middleweight. Hardcore boxing fans have long known Munguia's limitations. As far back as 2019, he was given a controversial decision over Dennis Hogan, a fight that saw him loudly booed out of the arena. His career has been carefully navigated, allowing him to avoid the division's most dangerous contenders at 154, 160, and 168 until he finally secured a lucrative payday against Canelo on May 4th last year. While Munguia might have a better shot at winning a belt at middleweight, that's more a reflection of the division's current lack of depth than his own abilities. Right now, almost anyone with a hint of skill has a chance at grabbing a title at 160 pounds, making it a far more realistic path for him. Reynoso has been instrumental in Canelo Alvarez's success, but he isn't a miracle worker. Unless Munguia is carefully protected from the true sharks at 168 pounds, even Reynoso's guidance won't be enough to elevate him to the top tier. If Canelo retires, Munguia might have a slim chance at capturing a belt, but only if his team strategically selects his opponents. Munguia is now expected to face Surace in a rematch on April 12th in Tijuana, but unless he makes dramatic improvements, history could very well repeat itself. Reynoso's presence in the corner won't change the fact that Surace's blistering right hand is a weapon Munguia has been too slow to neutralize, and if he can't adjust, another painful defeat could be looming. Ryan Garcia has officially enrolled in VADA testing ahead of his May 2nd tune-up bout against Rolando Romero, set to take place at Times Square in New York City. As reported by Lance Pugmire, Garcia has taken this step to initiate his 3-fight deal with Turki Al-Sheikh, a move that is bound to please Devin Haney and his father Bill Haney. However, there's no guarantee that Haney will still be in position to face Garcia. His upcoming showdown with Jose Ramirez on May 2nd could drastically change the trajectory of his career. Haney, who was once a headliner, has been relegated to the undercard of the Garcia vs. Raleigh event, a demotion that must sting. If he suffers a defeat against Ramirez, his stock will plummet even further, potentially pushing him out of the title picture entirely. The stakes couldn't be higher for the reigning WBC light welterweight champion. Garcia's current plan involves dispatching Raleigh, whom he's referred to as a charity case, before a potential October rematch against Haney. Yet many view the choice of Raleigh as an underwhelming opponent for Garcia. Romero was brutally knocked out by Isaac Cruz in the 8th round last year, and his stock has plummeted ever since. Initially, Garcia had his sights set on facing Pitbull, but the Mexican powerhouse was reportedly unwilling to engage in negotiations before his February 1st fight against Angel Fierro at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. With Pitbull unavailable, Romero appears to have been selected as a fallback option due to his name recognition from fights against Gervonta Davis, Ismael Barroso, and Cruz. However, his credibility as a legitimate threat is questionable. The light welterweight division is stacked with more talented contenders who lack mainstream recognition, yet any one of them would likely provide a stiffer challenge for Garcia. The reality is Garcia could pick a name at random from the division's top 15 and end up with a far more competitive fight than what Raleigh brings to the table. One such name is Matchroom's rising star Ernesto Mercado. With a devastating knockout ratio and an aggressive fighting style, Mercado appears poised to become a future star at 140 pounds. However, the likelihood of Garcia taking on such a dangerous opponent seems slim. Mercado's skill set makes him a high-risk, low-reward fight, exactly the kind of matchup that top fighters tend to avoid. For now, Garcia is on a carefully orchestrated path, but if he truly wants to prove himself among the elite, he'll need to step up the level of opposition. Fans want to see him take risks, not walk through a faded Raleigh Romero in a glorified exhibition match. George Kambosos Jr. is set to face veteran Daud Yordan in a 10-round bout on March 22nd in Sydney, Australia, broadcast live on DAZN. The former unified lightweight champion, often referred to as the Emperor, has named Yordan as his next opponent, and the choice has sparked widespread disappointment among boxing fans. According to reports, this fight is being treated as a tune-up for Kambosos, who is eyeing a summer showdown with IBF light welterweight champion Richardson Hitchins. Critics argue that this matchup underscores Kambosos' struggles to regain his former glory, following his dismal performance against Vasiliy Lomachenko last May. Many view this clash as a risky 50-50 affair. Despite Kambosos' home advantage in Sydney, his confidence has yet to recover since being knocked out twice by Lomachenko, leading to a stoppage loss. If Yordan, a seasoned fighter, can replicate Lomachenko's devastating body attack, he might pull off a similar upset. The choice of Yordan, a 37-year-old Indonesian native with over 2 decades of professional experience, reflects the precarious state of Kambosos' career. Once the holder of 3 lightweight titles after his shocking victory over an injured and rusty Teofimo Lopez in 2021, Kambosos' record has spiraled downhill. He has gone 1-3 in his last 4 fights, with his sole win being a controversial majority decision over Maxie Hughes in July 2023. Many saw Hughes as the clear winner in that fight, but the judges ruled in Kambosos' favor, preventing what could have been an embarrassing 4-fight losing streak. For Yordan, this fight offers a rare moment in the spotlight. A pro for 20 years, his resume includes battles with notable names like Celestino Caballero, Chris John, Simpiwe Vediika, and Anthony Krala. However, his best victories, against Maxwell Owuku, Daniel Eduardo Brizuela, and Choi Tsavingpurov, date back many years. Yordan has been largely inactive in recent years, fighting only 5 times in the past 7 and against unremarkable opponents. Kambosos, now facing criticism for opting to fight Yordan instead of a top-tier contender, appears to be searching for a path back to relevance. His future plans reportedly include a clash with Hitchins, though nothing has been finalized. If a higher-profile opportunity such as a rematch with Teofimo Lopez or Devin Haney arises, Kambosos will likely pursue it instead. This fight with Yordan is a crucial test for Kambosos. A strong performance could rebuild some momentum ahead of a potential world title challenge, but another lackluster showing may further diminish his standing in the boxing world. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment. Your support helps us grow and continue bringing you the very best from the world of boxing.